change. But it's exciting to see what's happening around the country, and I'm involved with a lot of Senate races, and some of you here have already told me you're helping us with the Senate Conservatives Fund. For those of you who don't know, it's senateconservatives.com. It's a website. We put senators up there that we've screened. Last time in 2010 we had Marco Rubio and Pat Toomey and Rand Paul and Mike Lee and Ron Johnson and some great new senators. People from all over the country sent money. These were all people who were not supported by our national party. And so we've changed the culture a little bit, and this time we're doing the same thing for Ted Cruz in Texas and Jeff Flake in Arizona and Richard Murdoch, who knocked off a senior Republican in Indiana. So we've still got a very active movement across the country who've started to believe that this country belongs to them, not the government, and that they can take it back if they get engaged and involved. And so I appreciate the Republicans here in Aiken. Since I first ran for the Senate, this is the first place I came. I know I was in Donna's home, standing at the fireplace where they told me I had to stand to win the election. I was also had to come by here and meet with some folks. They said if I didn't meet with them, I could not possibly win. I don't even remember who they were.
It's all that matters.
Must have been right, whatever it was. I see the election as, for us, a little better than 50-50. If Romney has a good night tonight, and you know, the media is going to say Obama won even if he shows up because of how he was treated the last time. But if people get a chance to see the real Mitt Romney, unfiltered, this is a man with great character, a faithful father, a husband. He's been charitable to people his whole life. He doesn't talk about it, but he has been. And he's succeeded in everything he's done since high school. It wouldn't hurt us to have a president of the United States who actually had the competency to run the country. I think we see, you've probably seen the polls like I have, are trending the right way. It's looking good in Florida, looking a lot better in Ohio. Even states like Pennsylvania seem to be in play. And I think Romney's going to run through the tape. We're going to finish well. Fundraising has picked up, and it has for our Senate candidates. That little website will probably raise $14 million this time. And it's already changed some races. And next week I'm going to be traveling to Ohio to campaign for Josh Mandel and for Mitt Romney. I'm anxious, but I'm enthusiastic, and I'm optimistic that the people of this country have not gone to sleep. The Tea Party's not gone, and Republican activists have not gone. They've just gotten a little better organized. They're not going to rallies this year. They're going to get out the vote. And so that's all I would encourage you to do, is find one person who might not go to the polls, ask them to go with you, because it's, the more we can do to change our state house with a lot of new candidates, that's critical, because the battle in the future is going to be at the state level. You've got about half the states making terrible decisions, raising their taxes, forcing unionization. Businesses are fleeing and coming to places like South Carolina, where we're trying to keep our taxes low, right to work. And we're going to have those states like California and Illinois and New York coming to the federal government for a bailout. But what we want is states like South Carolina, and our Attorney General, Alan Wilson, he's been working with other states to file suit on Obamacare, file suit on our immigration laws, our voter ID. We need to do the same thing on opening up our own natural gas supplies off of the coast so we can fund a lot of our roads and schools. We can build our own roads and bridges if we keep our gas tax dollars here rather than send them to Washington. We don't need any more from the federal government except our own money back. And then in that case we can get them to protect our country with a strong defense, do what they can do well, and let us do the rest back home. That's why state elections are so important right now. So let's get some good people in Columbia and keep the good guys that we've got in the House. Folks, South Carolina has got the best congressional delegation in the country. Yes. We really do. Joe Wilson's kind of the dean of our House delegation right now, but from Mick Mulvaney to Trey Gowdy,
Absolutely.
Jeff Duncan, Tim Scott. These are all champions of freedom and champions of the American way, and they've been a force. Their very first term in office, and the only reason they're there is because the Republicans in South Carolina have gotten active and organized and helped to pick the right people in primaries, so that when we win the general election, we send the right people to Columbia and Washington. So I just wanted to come by and thank you and tell you that what you do keeps me energized, and I love to hear people say they've got my back, keep fighting, and so I'm going to keep doing it as long as you've got my back. And so thank you.